The Denver Chicken Nuggets just got eliminated from the playoffs, so I'm forcing Jokic to leave Denver and join a new team every season until he retires. The ultimate goal of this video is to find out if Jokic can win as many rings as some of the other great big men in NBA history. And so the first team he's joining is the Wolves. So Jokic is pulling a KD by joining the team that knocked him out of the playoffs. And honestly, this wasn't a great spot for Jokic, as there's already two elite big men on the Wolves, meaning Jokic would have to split his minutes with both of them, causing his points per game to go down to just 23. On the bright side though, the Wolves had the best record in the league this year, and in the playoffs, they looked unstoppable, sweeping the Clippers in the first round, and then they beat Luka and the Mavs in the second round, meaning they were on to the Western Conference Finals, where they would face the OKC Thunder, who already had 3 players in the 90 overall club. Now in game 1, there must have been some high schoolers in the crowd, because Josh Giddey went crazy, putting up 39 points to help OKC steal game 1. Jokic would answer back though, putting up 41 points in game 2 to secure the win, and then in game 3, Ant just relentlessly attacked the rim, picking up 43 points and the win to take a 2-1 lead in the series. And at this point, it was clear the Thunder didn't have an answer for the Jokic and Ant duo, which led to the Wolves beating them in a gentleman's sweep, meaning they're heading to the finals to face the Celtics, who still had their same stacked roster. But it didn't really matter, as the Wolves were out for blood.
Jokic for the win. Oh, it's good!
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so the Wolves swept the Celtics to win the 2025 championship, meaning Jokic now has 2 rings and is getting closer to NBA legend status. His next team wouldn't be so great though, as he's joining the Jazz, and the best player on this team was Kyle Sweater Boy Kuzma, who was only an 85 overall. Jokic would have a great individual season though, back up to over 30 points a game, and he won the 2026 MVP. Now this performance from Jokic was enough to carry the Jazz to a 6 seed, and in the playoffs they'd match up against the Grizzlies, who still had Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., but now they also had LeBron on their team. So this was without a doubt going to be an uphill battle. Somehow though, the Jazz took game 1, and then in game 2, Jokic would put up 44 points to win a tight game, meaning the Jazz are up 2-0 in the series now, and they're going back to Utah for game 3. 30 seconds to go, it's a 1-point game, and the Jazz have the ball. They give it to Drew. I have no idea who Drew even is, but he gives the ball back to Jokic, who's being guarded by Jaren Jackson Jr. Jokic. Oh, that was clean. 19 seconds left. The Jazz really need to get a stop here. If they get one, they're probably going to take a 3-0 lead in the series, but it's all coming down to this possession. So Ja Morant looking for something. Kyle Kuzma just got violated, dude. Oh my God. There's still 6 seconds left though, and Memphis has a 1-point lead, so the Jazz need to score here, and they give the ball to Drew. I don't really like. Oh, gives it to Jokic. Oh, on the buzzer, dude. Wow. After taking a 3-0 lead in the series, the Grizzlies would come back and win a couple games, but the Jazz still managed to close the series out and advance to the next round, where they'd be up against Jokic's previous team, the Timberwolves. Now, no one on the Jazz was able to guard Ant-Man in this series, which led to a whole lot of this. So Jokic and the Jazz are getting sent to Cancun after a quick 4 games, and to make things even worse, this elimination was the start of a downward spiral for Jokic, as the next team he's joining is the Wizards, who just straight up had the worst team in the league. So for the first time in a while, Jokic would miss the playoffs entirely. Then for the 2028 season, he's going to the Bulls, and they were in the early stages of a rebuild, so once again, again, Jokic would have a disappointing season and would miss the playoffs. Now, if all of that wasn't bad enough, Jokic is also starting to regress at 34 years old, so his window to win some rings is definitely closing. Luckily, though, he'd finally catch a break for this next season as he's going to the Mavs to team up with his best friend, Luka, who went on to dominate the league this year and win the 2029 MVP. Now, Jokic played solid also, which got them the second seed in the West. The only better team was a prime OKC Thunder, and as expected, these two teams would meet up in the conference finals. Now, although Jokic and Luka were technically the underdogs, they'd go on to average over 30 points a game in this series to eventually take a 3-2 lead and a chance to close it out in Game 6. We're in the final seconds of Game 6 and the Mavs have the ball. Luka is driving, gives it to Jokic, who almost loses the ball, but he passes it back out. Now they got some good ball movement going. Top of the key, gives it to Luka. Oh! 29 seconds to go, though. They need a stop here because if the OKC scores here, they can definitely still win this. So Shea looking to drive. They're passing the ball around. Shea gets the ball back. Shea loses it. Oh, they recover, and Luka's getting fouled. And Luka sinks both free throws to call game. With that win, Jokic is once again heading to the finals, where this time he's facing the Miami Heat, who at this point had a crazy lineup of shooters on their team. So as expected, this series turned into a full-blown three-point contest that eventually led to a Game 7. We're in the final minute of Game 7 here, and the Heat have a 1-point lead, but the Mavs have the ball, so this is a big possession here. They really need a score. Luka looking to make a play, takes a step back three. It's off, okay. MPJ got the rebound, and he's bringing the ball up. He's being guarded by his previous teammate, Jokic, but he passes it out to Bam. Bam looking, takes a shot off, okay. Mavs got the rebound, 25 seconds left. This is a must score right here. Jokic, top of the key, being guarded by Trae Young, it looks like. I don't know why Jokic just doesn't drive, but he gives the ball up, okay. Lively looking for something. I don't like this. Okay, Jokic got the ball. Luka's got the ball. 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. 2 seconds. Oh! Damn! The Heat still have 2 seconds left, though, so they can hypothetically get a shot off. They give it to Trae Young. Oh my God, dude, what? 0.4 seconds left. I don't know if they can even get a shot off at this time, but let's just see what happens. Jokic for 3. Oh my God, it went in. Dude, I don't know if that was in on time, though. So the refs reviewed it, and it did not count. So Jokic is going home and losing to the Heat in the finals. Honestly, a heartbreaking loss. After that crazy finish, Jokic is going home with still only 2 rings, and he's turning 35 this next season, meaning he's only got 5 seasons left in the league. Now, Jokic is going to the Pelicans for this next season, who had a very obese Zion Williamson. The two did play well together, though, earning the 3rd seed in the West. And in the playoffs, they made a better than expected run, reaching the Western Conference Finals, where they'd face up against Wemby and the Spurs. Now, this series was a dogfight between 2 of the best big men in the league. However, with Jokic being on the wrong side of 30, Wemby would get the best of him, winning the series in a gentleman's sweep. Meaning for the 5th season in a row, Jokic is going home empty-handed. Not all hope is lost, though, as he's going to the Celtics next year, who still had Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown leading the pack. Now, this new trio would get the 1st seed in the East and make it all the way to the NBA Finals, where once again, Jokic was in for a series against Wemby. And just like last year, it was looking like Wemby was going to get the best of Jokic as the Spurs took the first 3 games in the series. Yet, in a dramatic turn of events, Jokic and Tatum would lock in and pull the series back to force a Game 7. Now, no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit in the playoffs, playoffs, but the Celtics had a certain swag about them that made you believe they could get the job done. And sure enough, Tatum would go on to drop 50 in Game 7 to win the championship. So with that win, Jokic finally got his third ring and is getting close to at least catching Shaq in championships. He's also turning 37 this next year, meaning he has 3 seasons left in the league. Now the next team he's joining is the Lakers, who in 2032 were being led by none other than AR-15. Now this team didn't have a lot of talent, but Jokic and AR were still able to carry them to a surprising 5th seed. However, in the second round of the playoffs, they'd run into Wemby and the Spurs, who were looking to get their revenge on Jokic from last year. And pretty quickly, Wemby would get the job done, sending Jokic home in just 5 games, meaning he's got 2 seasons left in the league and would be joining the Warriors next, who at this point just have a bunch of scrubs on their team. So I decided to put prime Steph Curry back on the Warriors just to see what happens. Now Steph was killing it, averaging 31 points a game, but Jokic was well past his prime at this point, so he wasn't really able to help Curry too much during the regular season, which resulted in the Warriors getting the 8th seed. And then in the playoffs, Jokic would have to face the Spurs in the first round, which once again resulted in pure domination from Wemby to win the series in a sweep. Now the Jokic memes were rolling in after he got eliminated by Wemby for the 2nd year in a row now, but Jokic would have a chance to get his revenge as he's joining the OKC Thunder this next season. Now Shea wasn't on the Thunder anymore, but Chet and J-Dub were still here and in their primes. So you already know this team was good enough to meet the Spurs in the conference finals. Now despite Jokic getting manhandled by Wemby these last couple years, the Thunder would actually have some success and force a Game 7. Got ourselves a tie in the final minute of Game 7 here. OKC has the ball though, and they give it to Jokic, who's being guarded by Wemby. He takes the shot. It's off. All right, Spurs got the rebound. Devin Vassell taking the ball up the court. Vassell looking. He pulls it. Oh my God. All right, Spurs take a 3-point lead. So we got 30 seconds on the clock. OKC really needs to score here. Colin Sexton's got the ball. He lobs it to Jokic. Oh my God. What? Dude, at like 39, 40 years old, he's still doing that? All right, Spurs got the ball. Sorry, Ingram is, he could have taken a shot there, but now he's being guarded by Chet. Looking like the Spurs are just looking to drain some clock. Wow, that Jokic dunk was insane. All right, Brandon Ingram finally gets a screen, pulls it. It's off, okay. Washington's got the ball. There's 5 seconds left. The OKC Thunder need to go. Sexton takes the final shot. It's off. Oh, no. Jokic is going home for the final time. Despite that disappointing loss, Jokic did finish with an impressive resume that's going to solidify his name in the history books. And if you enjoyed this simulation, then you should check out my other video where I made LeBron leave the Lakers.